Welcome into episode 15 here on the Bent Family and Friends Realm. I've been doing a little bit of work in the background, nothing crazy, a little bit of floor design maybe, a couple of flags up in the background. But the real thing is I've been grinding some concrete. And I think the next build that's going into this world is going to be the Patriotic balloon by Bill Whelan. It is a Canadian patriotic balloon, and I want to put it somewhere where it's not going to conflict with my City Auto balloon, but it needs to be on like a different bit of an elevation. So I'm thinking like over here and a little bit lower, almost like it just took off from like this area. So we'll put it up, not exactly touching, but I'll do the framework of it in dirt first, and we'll get it up in the air. And hopefully, maybe my wife has some pictures in real, because I'm kind of basing this off of my memory from a couple years ago, because this patriotic envelope, I believe, is retired at the moment. It's been put to pasture. So I'll search through my wife's camera roll and see if we can get some real pictures of it up on screen. But let me work on the wireframe of it first, and we'll come back. Here is the outline of the balloon, and so the top of it's red, and then there's a solid band of white, and then there's several of these little tabs that'll be like alternating red to white to red to white, and then in the white part of the tab will be the maple leaf, so it'll be like a series of Canadian flags around the base. And if memory serves me, unlike this balloon, I think the Patriotic had like little flags hanging off the edge of the balloon. But I'll get this filled in. I think it's about right. It could be a little bit lower, but I want to leave some space to put some buildings in underneath of these too. So they have to be kind of up a little bit. But I'm digging it. I can't wait to see like 30 of these balloons all over the place. But yeah, I'll work away at getting this back into place and filled in. And then maybe we'll come back and you can help me to design the maple leaves that go in the white sections. Cool. So, this week we are doing the patriotic balloon. So the question is, why patriotic balloon and why Bill Whelan? So the patriotic balloon is basically the first balloon that I saw when I came to town. It kind of struck me because it's a Canadian flag balloon, and yeah, the color scheme and everything just kind of set me off. And then everybody I saw working on the balloon was having such a great time. On top of that all, my wife has crewed with or around Bill Whelan since she was about 6 years old. She used to get a doctor's note from Bill for the first week of school, so she could get excused from school for balloon duty. Bill is an Ottawa balloonist. He comes here from festival every year. He's one of the founding fathers, really, of the festival in town. In all honesty, he's one of the founding fathers of ballooning in Canada. He works a lot with federal agencies, coming up with policies and procedures for flying. He creates and manufactures hot air balloons. He trains pilots. Basically, the vast majority of pilots that live in Sussex owe their hot air ballooning careers to Bill. So it's very cool to see, even at his ever advancing age, he's still involved in ballooning ever more. Every day he's involved. So yeah, it's been really cool. Bill stays at our house when he's in town. he was the master of ceremonies at my wedding. So he's very involved in my life, and we're very involved in his. So it's an honor for me to try to make his balloon. Next week I'll try to do Sandra's balloon too, and we'll talk a bit more about her. But for today, let's talk a bit more about Bill. Let me get a bit more on this. I can't really talk and count the 4 and 5 at the same time. So let me get a little bit farther, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more. Cool, I just placed the last block. I don't know what it looks like from the outside. I've done this all from the inside. So it could be completely off. I think I'll have to change a couple of blocks at least. But let's get out here and take a look. So it's a little dark. Let me out. Let me out. So this balloon needs to be lit up. That's a shame because I think it really does look the way it's supposed to. Okay, I have to go make a lichen farm before I can keep going because I can't leave it looking like that. But hopefully on screen you'll see what I'm trying to get. This looks like a maple, or supposed to look like a maple leaf. And then it should look like the flag from underneath. It's just too dark. Oh, but wait. I have a solution for that. I made these especially for YouTube. Yay! So, I mean, this line to be straight is going to be near impossible. I think that's pretty good. And I'm afraid that might be the best I can make a maple leaf. I think what I have to do now is, this balloon has lived through several iterations. And one of such iterations had little tassels or flags on the dorsal, I guess, of the balloon. So I'd like to get those in. And I think that's pretty good. It's going to be a pain to light that up afterwards. But that's something I'll have to do. I'll have to like bridge out and bridge up. I think lichen. I don't know how else to do the underneath of a block. And the bottom half of that basket needs a little bit of work too. This one probably has the same problems, but the bottom's black, so you can't really see it as much. But no, all in all, that's pretty close. That should be a pretty good reference to Bill Whelan's balloon. Yeah, let me get some tassels on it. And we'll come back and finalize that build and see what we're doing for the rest of the episode. I got the tassels done on the balloon, but as I was going to come up here and show you, but I can't stand this basket. This basket just doesn't work. These trapdoors are out of render distance, and you can't see anything from a distance, and nothing works. So I've seen a guy online. I want to try to replicate it. I don't know, maybe can I get some blocks in here and get around? I want to do it out of bamboo because it kind of looks like wicker. I guess I could build up and kind of get around here. This is kind of cramped up top here. You know what? Maybe I should just go down to the ground and mock one up so I know what I'm doing instead of trying to get it built up here. And then I can put them on all the balloons. Yeah, so I'll just tear this down and head down to the ground and we'll mock it up. Maybe in a quick time lapse. And I'll come back after and show you what I've done.
just you and me. It's already past dark. Yes, I can see the perfect picture of what life should be. Why don't you come and play? If you'd stay. Why don't you come and play? If you'd stay. Why don't you come and play? It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Here is the basket design I've come up with. It's based off of one I found online, but I've changed it around a little bit. It's still a little bit large for what I would like it to be for realistic. A real basket is not 5 meters wide. But I mean, this is Minecraft. So I got kind of short sides and then poles going up, holding up a burner. I put a little lever on here so you can control the fuel on the burner. I could put like barrels or something in the corners here to represent propane tanks, actually. Yeah, that's probably a bit too much. But the reason I've gone to a solid block instead of what I had with trapdoors is now you can see it. When it was trapdoors, when you're out of render distance, they disappear. So although it doesn't look like much from down here, at least it looks like something rather than just a disappearing thing. So I'm going to leave this model here for me to remember by. And I'm going to put the basket in this balloon and finish up that one. The other thing I realized too is the lip of the balloon is too small. So I'm just taking the bottom layer off just to widen it out a little bit. But yeah, no, I kind of like this actually. And I can do different baskets in different colors. Just following this design with different wood types. Well, let me get these baskets on and finished up, and we'll go from there. I guess another little side note, a bit more about Bill. So this is the Patriotic balloon through its many variations. But the ground crew, Bill has volunteers or friends basically that help out at every festival that he goes to. And he goes to many across North America. But everybody that works on his balloon, on this envelope, is called the A-Team. So that's like a Canadian colloquialism, if I can say that right. Instead of the letter A, it's EH. It's the A-Team because we're working on a Canadian balloon. He's also made the a bunch of bees balloon, which his partner Sandra was flying for the longest time. And so people on that basket would be called the B-Team. So you had the A-Team and the B-Team. It was kind of cool. So themed against the envelope that you're on. So I think throughout the expanding balloon fiesta here, I'm going to try to include a lot of Bill's baskets and envelopes because he has thousands of them. He has hundreds of them. And from what he's made or what he's created to what he's bought and traded or provided, perhaps at a discount to a lot of the locals too, to help people get involved in ballooning. There's one little thing he said last festival. I exclaimed, I was like, Bill, why do you give so much of your time to random people when they show up? Like when random people come up to help at the festival, like say we fly and we land in a field, and then some random person will come up and want to be involved and touch and help the balloon. Why do you give so much of your time to these random strangers? And he said, you know what? That person that come to help in the field might be the next balloon pilot. So you make the moment special to everybody that shows up, and you might have created a lifelong desire to be involved in balloons. And I think that's probably why I'm involved and probably will be involved until I can't do it any longer. So, to the episode, I probably only have like 6 minutes of actual footage, although this has taken me a couple of days to do. These balloons are not a huge amount of work, but it's like 6 shulkers of material, and it's a pretty particular way to place them. So these do take a while to do, but I don't really want to have a 6 minute episode. So let's clear a bit of a space over here and think about a train. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. So what I'm going to do is look for a train design. I'm not pretending like I can come up with a train design. I'm going to steal one and I'll link it in the description. But I need to open this up probably like 7 blocks. And there'll have to be a little bit of a retainer wall in there. I don't think I'll actually make the train today, but I want to lay the tracks, so to say. So I shall be right back after I do a little bit of research. Not a whole lot actually done, but you can see a bunch of blocks lying around here now. We can talk about future plans. I found a train design online that I really like, and I'll talk about them and I'll link them in the description when I come to it. But there's a guy out there doing like realistic block to block recreations of trains, and so the trains are going to go through here. I have to go AFK at an iron farm for a while, but the track will, oh, if I learn how to do it right, the train tracks will be like there, and then I will do like railway ties through it every so often, and it's spaced just right so that the train will end here and there'll be a block of space before the rail. And then I left a space to do a retaining wall. I have to finish terraining before I worry about doing retaining walls. But where you see the granite will be the track line, and I've hidden lights underneath of it so it lights up at nighttime. So if we follow the sea lanterns, this is what I've laid out for the train tracks. They're going to come to this side of the island and kind of circle up and go along the coast. I've only got up to about here planned. And this will allow me to put trains in behind what's going to be Main Street. So Main Street, the roads are going to be these warp blocks. So this will be able to put, I'll be able to put Main Street here with the Broad Street Loop buildings here with enough space to put the train track in behind it. And then you'll have balloons flying all the way across town as the world expands. So if we watch, this road will loop down and around the actual island and come up the far side. And I was thinking as we come into town here, the road will come across the train tracks and go that way, or cut in front of the train station, and then all this flat area will be the launch field. And this will lead into tomorrow, or next week's build is going to be the senior center up here on top of the hill. So the actual like information booth for the balloon fiesta will be up here. The road will veer off again to make a loop around the island. So there'll be a great big loop around the island, coming back up there for the road. So an O here. The train will probably just like dead end to there. But now, the road 2 will have to cycle around to the other side of the island to make another loop. So the road will come up here. Oh, if I can fly. The road will come up here, and I haven't got figured out much past this spot. So probably like, again, it'll loop around this half of the island. What I am excited about is, if I fly back here, sorry, if you follow the train, so imagine in the near future there is a train sitting here at the train station. And as the train leaves, it'll come up this way. and I want to make a covered bridge across this little bay. So we're pretty famous in this part of the world for having old, antiquated covered bridges. There's one in Heartland, which is, I don't know, maybe an hour away, which is like the world's longest covered bridge. So I think it might be kind of cool to put a covered bridge in through here, and I could put some supports and make it look kind of realistic. And maybe I'll bring it over here a little bit more, because they would have covered the least amount of space as possible. So we'll put maybe over here. But yeah, I can do a covered bridge. And the other thing that's going to excite, I might not just keep myself limited to Sussex area buildings. It might be kind of cool to do some natural wonders around this area, like Hopewell Rocks, because the island is big. Like, I haven't even discovered half of the island yet. So I hate to just fill the episode up full of future plans, but I don't have any more time this week to do any more balloons, and this train build that I've discovered is going to take a lot of resource management, because it's very easy to do this sort of thing in creative. It's a whole different story to do it in survival. But next week I'm excited to do, like I say, the Civic Center, and to get this area kind of actually going and looking like something. But the road design is very important. I didn't want to go ahead and make too many buildings before I had the roads kind of laid out. So I can have the road up there and have the Civic Center way back here and have like paths to it instead. So it's not super realistic, but I do want to make the buildings as close to real as possible. Again, I'm kind of happy these flags they look real and quick. Like, that's the New Brunswick flag as long as you don't look at it super close, and that's the Canadian flag as long as you don't look at it super close. But I mean, it shows, right? Anyway, no, that was a big build. I'm very happy with it turned out. The maple leaf, again, a little derpy. A little derp. But that's okay. By the time we get 30 balloons in here, it's going to be hard to see one from the other anyways. So yeah, thank you for watching this week. I know it's a shorter episode than normal, but these build episodes will probably be shorter. Anyway, I appreciate you coming, and if you could come back, say hi. Leave me a comment, say what building in town you want to see after the Civic Center, or who's your favorite hot air balloonist, and I can make their balloon too. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.